Hello, my name's Steve McCarthy. I'm chairman of the Birmingham City Supporters Trust here.
I'm Emma Hodgson. I'm a secretary and a trust member.
Okay, we're attending the Fans Supporters Summit, but really to get a further understanding of what we can use in terms of what's going to be beneficial to us as a trust. To build contacts and sort of further embrace the relationships we've already built, and also to discuss with other trusts some of the challenges that they face in terms of the implementation of some of the best practice that we've seen. So really that's why we're here.
It's also about seeing ways that we can develop community ties within our own trust and make the fans more diverse. Establish a new type of fan group as well.
One of the things we've seen that's of particular interest is certainly in terms of some of the things that's happening yesterday was the supporter liaison officer role and some of the best practice in terms of how it's worked in Germany, how it's recently been implemented in Sweden, and then talking and discussing really some of the challenges we're seeing with it here in terms of the sort of convoluted nature of the understanding of the role. How clubs are adopting it, and really, you know, almost this paying lip service to the sort of Article 35 in terms of what it means. And we want to sort of really work with that in terms of developing that role and having a positive impact on how we can move forward with it.
We as a trust recognise the importance of local community and the role that it can play to ensure that Birmingham City remain stable and successful. And we're looking at ways that we can seek and build upon and improve community relationships. So we're looking at things like registering the ground as a asset of community value, which Mr. David Farrell is really passionate about. Also looking at strengthening links within our youth community, for example, approaching schools and colleges to strengthen that fan base.
Our long-term aim as a trust is to secure representation on our board, and you know we spoke a lot already this weekend about the models that are working successfully in Germany, and some of the challenges we have, and this thought process around that it's only really targeted towards lower league clubs within our own country. But we've seen that there's a model there, there's a model that can be adopted, and there's a model that really benefits the fans, and there's a number of initiatives now that are really pushing forward on a number of fronts. And Germany proved it. Two teams in the Champions League final, and they proved that they can have that success together with embracing the fan culture and the community-owned culture, and that's what we have to do in this country. We have to build upon that. We have to push it forward, and we have to really push the success stories that we're having.
It's proving that it's going to be, it needs to be sustainable, and this is going to happen. It's going to take time, and we as a trust need to build these links over time and make sure that this stability happens throughout.
Yeah, I mean, for the rest of the Supporters Summit, there's a couple of things that are really sticking out for us in terms of fan engagement. How do we get fan engagement at the top level of the game? How does that flow through towards the owners and then the governing body? So sort of, football governance is top of the agenda, and how do we regulate that, and how do we make it more transparent? So today the theme is, really understanding what we can do from a positive perspective.
How do you feel about ticket fares? Do you think they should be lower? Do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, 20's Plenty is a great initiative, and we've seen this week, with the football without fans is nothing. The Spirit of Shankly were really leading that in terms of we've got to highlight this as an issue. Ticket prices in this country are astronomical for the fans, so that flow through of finance is not getting there. And to give you a sort of an example of that, I mean, I'm passionate about my club and I follow my club home and away. And last year to go to a championship game at Leeds United was £36, for a ticket for an adult, and £18 for a child. So before I even went anywhere last year, it cost me £52 per se. So we really need to do something about this.
If this doesn't happen, people are going to be discouraged from going. We're not going to be able to engage the younger generation, and therefore there won't be that consistent fan base, because people will be reluctant to go because they just literally can't afford it. So it's really important that ticket prices are strictly monitored. The 20's Plenty, as Steve said, is an excellent initiative.
Absolutely.
You mentioned the issue of representation. Do you think there should be more women in football?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're a big advocate of that, and actually, you know, as a Birmingham City Supporters Trust now, we're sponsoring 2 of the Birmingham City ladies football players, and we're trying to really encourage that diversity in football, and you know, we're also working in terms of people from different ethnic origins, in terms of building those community links within the club, and you know, and looking at what can we do to encourage, you know, people from all walks of life to come into football, because that can only benefit the game.
I think it's important to provide opportunities for open forum meetings, as indeed the Blues Trust are doing tomorrow at the Custard Factory in Birmingham, so that people can come and gauge their opinion, give their advice, and their ideas can be put forward. And initially that will be then what we can continue to base our strategy on. So it's very much about the whole fan base.
Yes.